Hi, this is Pradeep. In this video, I'm going to explain how you can start your career in SAP Finance Consulting and what are the myths are there related to SAP Functional Consultant and particularly related to finance. So for easy understanding, I have segregated the entire discussion or the candidates, the aspirants who are going to start their career in SAP Finance Consulting particularly into three categories. So first category, those are just they have completed graduate, and here I'm considering graduate means finance graduate, that means BCom. Second category, like they are like no work experience, graduate without any work experience. Second category, they are having some professional qualification, like for example, chartered accountancy, cost accountant, or MBA finance, but they don't have domain experience. Recently, they have completed their MBA finance. In case of CA, some advantage will be there because as they have completed till the time they have completed the final, so they have completed their articleship or they have completed their industrial training. So CA maybe exactly it will not come under this category. We can't say someone who have completed the CA final, they don't have experience, but they have not joined any corporate. It was articleship or industrial training. This is my second category. For them, what will be my advice or what will be my suggestion? Third category, they have like qualification is there. They have good domain experience, like in accounts and finance. Even they have also working right now, maybe in SAP end user, and they have completed the SAP finance training, but still they are not getting the SAP consulting job, or they are what the problem they are facing. Okay, so there are a lot of myths are there in the market, like there is no job in the SAP, or SAP consulting jobs are very difficult. After completing the training, participants are not getting the job, or like in interview, what the questions they are asking, we are not able to deliver the same, and in training something was different, but in interview something was different. So a lot of myths are there, so that I'm going to explain here. And please follow this video very carefully, because it is going to help you take the right decision, and what are the problems right now you are facing, how you are going to overcome those problems. So I hope you will enjoy it. Let's start. I'm getting a lot of inquiries, a lot of queries from different viewers who are watching my YouTube videos. They are saying that we have completed the training. We are doing a lot of practice, but we are not getting calls. First of all, you have to accept that SAP Finance or any SAP functional job is not for freshers. First of all, let's say you have completed BCom. That means your highest qualification is graduation. Sorry to say this, but at this level, there is no SAP functional consultant job. The reason here is when you are going for consulting job, so the expected candidate's profile, this is for sample. I have just extracted one job description, which is posted recently on one job site, naukri.com. Now you can see here what the education they are looking here: CA, CWA, or MBA finance full time. Even MBA finance, they are not accepting the MBA from any like if it is not the reputed B school. So preferred always CA, CWA, and MBA from good college. That is the first criteria. So when you are going for the job with BCom highest qualifications, obviously your CV will not be shortlisted. The candidate's profile will be in the first itself when they are going to shortlist the CV, so they will reject it. So that is the first thing. So always it is highly required when you are thinking or you are planning to take any career, just go through the prerequisite, do some research on the market requirement, because it's your time and your money involved here. So when you are taking any training or you are giving some time or you are planning something, instead of that, you can do something else. I will advise, go for higher study, go for some post graduation, or if you think like it is required that you should go for job, then go for the job with as per your qualification and site. You can go for executive MBA. That is highly required. That is SAP job point of view. What is the prerequisite? Now coming to let's say you have completed MBA finance, and then after that immediately you are joining some SAP training, and you are saying that we have completed the training, but still we are not getting the call. You can see the prerequisite that first of all, right now, if your knowledge on SAP ECC, which was the old technology, then obviously customers, clients are not going to consider that. Your employer is not going to consider that, because everyone is nowadays looking as for HANA. because that is a new technology. Every company who are going for new implementation, they are going to do the implementation on S4 HANA, or any companies those are already working on ECC, they are in the phase of migration, or they are going to be migrate very soon, because SAP ECC is going to be very soon, it is going to be obsolete. So that's why you should be prepare yourself on S4 HANA, not on ECC. You can just go to it's it's mandatory. You should have the knowledge of S4 HANA, functional consultant for S4 HANA. And if you'll check here, everyone is looking that 1 to 2 implementation knowledge is required. You should have some knowledge. Okay, so that is again very tricky, that you are going to show like we did the implementation. Maybe you can say in my existing company where you are currently working, you can do some modification if possible. You can do that, or you can say I was working somewhere as a trainee, or I was doing something as a freelancer. Somehow you have to prove that I was there in the implementation. So I have knowledge of one implementation at least, and I have also the knowledge of support. That is also highly required, because here the domain knowledge is very required. You can check the next point. Candidate should have 2 to 5 years experience along with domain knowledge. Domain knowledge means, first you have to understand this blog is for those people who have already completed the training, and right now you are planning your job point of view, are preparing. So you must know, like when you are going to do some configuration in the system, it's not like that you are going to click somewhere here and there and everything will be there. First you should know what is the client requirement. You should very good understanding the business process of the client. Suppose you are going to configure the asset accounting, you know what is the client's requirement, how many depreciation area they are going to configure, on what basis this depreciation area they are going to design, whether they are going for only one depreciation area or 5 depreciation area. So each and everything should be very clear. So that is why when you are discussing with your customer, or when you are going for the training, or when you had completed your training, this thing should be there, because before doing the system configuration, your vision should be clear that what we are going to do the configuration, what the gray areas customer currently facing, what is their expectation from this application. That should be very clear. So that is why in every job you will find domain experience is relevant. Now back to my previous example, you have completed MBA Finance, immediately you are joining some SAP training. You never work earlier. That means you don't have any domain knowledge. Or some participants, some viewers, they are coming like we have completed science, then after that we have completed FICO training. On what basis you learn FICO? You don't have the domain knowledge. You don't have the functional knowledge. You don't know what is product costing. You don't know how the cost is calculated. You don't know how the asset depreciation is calculated. So that is why it is very, very required, because you are going for a functional consultant. So it is highly required. You should have the domain knowledge. If I am the finance consultant, then my qualification is going to support that. So that is the first thing. Second thing, I should have the relevant domain experience, because without domain, if you're going for some consulting or some IT, how client is going to accept you, because you never work on the bank reconciliation. You don't know the problems involved in the bank reconciliation and what the solutions you are going to give. So that's why in every job profile, you will find some domain experience are mandatory. So first criteria, you have completed the qualification, so that is done. Second one, your relevant domain experience. Third one, you have completed the training, but when you have taken the training or when you have prepared all the training, you have understood theoretically, or you never, because it is end-to-end business process. SAP is best known for its integration. It is the end-to-end ERP solutions we are going to give to the customer. But when you are working, you, let's say you restricted only finance, you never integrated with other modules like SD, because let's say configuration is not there, or integration is not there, then how we are going to work on the product costing? Because it is closely integrated, so that the data is coming from the material management or the logistic. When you never integrated with SD, it's not like you are going to see the process, because your profitability analysis is not going to work. So when we are working on the project, we are closely working with other consultants and we are integrating the things, and that is why SAP is known for. So that is why it is highly required. And you can see here, this is the best job description. It's clearly mentioned that you must have work on like modules like controlling. Again, here another problem, like people are just completed finance. We know we have the knowledge of GL ARIP. That does not going to work, my dear friend. So GL ARIP, these are the basic things. You just created some GL masters and you posted some transactions. You posted in customer invoice through FB70. In real world, we never post customer invoice with FB70. It is always initiated from the sales. So first there should be sales order, then delivery, then invoice, then collection. So when we are doing the delivery, then that should be data will move to your profitability analysis. When we are doing the invoice, that should be transferred to as your revenue. So we are going to do the cost and revenue analysis. That is what is required. COPA, product costing. So that's why, like I'm getting feedback like jobs are not there. Jobs are there. It's that you are not prepared. So you have to prepare as per the need of the market, and accordingly you need to prepare and you have to configure in every, like if you have seen my videos, my all videos are always based on some business requirement. Suppose I need to configure something, then my business requirement should be clear what I'm going to do in the system. Before that, what I should know why I'm doing the system. Without knowing the logic, if I'm going to do something, then there is no logic. If I'm going to click somewhere, then I should know its impact. If I'm not going to click here, then what the problem I'm going to face. So that is why always it is required that you should have the 1-2 implementation is required, because normally what happen nowadays, supplies are more. That means more number of participants are interested for the SAP jobs. When more participants are there and demand is less, or compared to demand supply is more, then obviously filtering will be there. That means everyone is looking for the experienced candidate, because if they are going to hire a new candidate or a fresher, then company, because immediately they are not going to put you in the production, they have to give the training. And for every candidate, companies are going to spend around 1 lakh INR for their training and development. And after getting the training, let's say you are going to leave that job, then it is lost to the company. So that is why when they are getting the experienced candidate, why they are going to hire the fresher. So that means if it is not, if I will say there is no job for freshers, then it is not absolutely wrong. So there is no job for freshers. Next question, then how we are going to start the career? If everyone is looking for freshers, then how they are going to, or how they are going to start the career? First of all, when you are planning for SAP, make sure that you should have a very good, strong domain knowledge. If you are already working as end user, super user, power user, then you are in very good position. You can change your you can modify your profile and you can start your SAP consulting career, because you have the qualification, you have the relevant domain experience. And second thing, you are already in the SAP user side. Although now your target is I should learn the configuration, you have already the business process knowledge, because you are working as an end user, so you can learn the SAP configuration and you can test it. Then you can modify the profile, and accordingly you can go into job. So that these things are highly required. Next question, if someone is not working on SAP end user, still hopes are there, still options are there. Like someone is working, let's say, on Oracle, that is also ERP product. The process is also same. Different product or SAP Oracle products are different. Maybe business process is always same. P2P, how it is in SAP, same is there in Oracle also. Definitely in SAP we have some added advantage there. There's a lot of automated things are there, or here integration is automated, reconciliation are minimized, but ultimately business process is same. If you are working on any ERP, it may be branded or non-branded. If you are working on any ERP, then still hopes are there, possibilities are there. If you are not working on ERP, or you don't have those domain knowledge, then I will recommend, if you are highly interested for SAP, then work for some time as an end user. Very soon I'm going to start the series of end user videos, so that it will help you. So if let's say you have completed BCom and your long-term plan is to start the SAP career, don't take the decision wrongly or quickly that if I will join this course, if I'm going to complete this training, then I will be SAP consultant. Never you are going to be a SAP consultant. You need to plan your career accordingly. So that is why it is highly required. Like you should at least start your career as SAP end user, work there for some times, at least 1 year. Then after that, then move to the next segment. You can start your career testing, because in every implementation we have different phases are there. Some consultants or senior consultants, they are working on the development configuration. Then some junior consultants, they are doing the testing. So testing is also very important area. So that's why if you can start your career with testing also, or you can start your career support. After go live, the lots of support jobs are there. Then after that, you will automatically get the implementation knowledge. So if you are not going to plan in a perfect way, then obviously this problem will be there. So it is highly required. You have to understand the requirement, job point of view, and what the knowledge you have. If you have completed just a finance training, then obviously you are not going to get the interview calls. Even if you there interview, you will not successfully able to complete it. So practical things, configuration is also required. Like, you know how to upload a bank statement. Are we really going to upload the bank statement in the system? If, because so much data is there. So are we going to create the GL masters in manually, or we are going to do the data uploading? Because nowadays companies are looking the 100% perfect candidate, so that immediately with 15 days induction, they are going to put it in the production. They are going to put in the project. So your competition in that level, it is there. So accordingly, you have to polish yourself. Whatever the prerequisites are there, accordingly, you are going to prepare and you are going to start your career. So it's not like SAP jobs are not there, or there is no job for SAP. Lot of rejections are there. It's highly required. You have to accept, you have to understand what is the requirement is there, then accordingly you need to plan. So this is before going for any job, thoroughly analyze the job description. Do you have that knowledge or not? You can see here everything is there. Like, understand the business process, I already explained. Create the FS, create the testing document. If I will show you some testing documents, so that's how you can see. I'm sure you must have idea about the UATs when you have configured something. First of all, configuration point of view, you should have whatever you are configuring. So let's say this is one asset acquisition process. So when you are going to configure something related to asset acquisition, it's not like you are going to what you can say, like, if we will post a F-90 entry. It's not like that. F-90 entry, we should know the process very well, like from where F-90, maybe we are using very less. The process is going to start from the logistic point of view. So each and everything should be there, and on the basis of real data, real configuration, you are going to configure the things, because tomorrow you are going to face the customer and you are exactly they're going to explain the things. So when you are going to do something, configure always on the real data. Hypothetically, don't take something else, like we will post F-90 entry and the asset is posted. No, it should be like, if it is integrated with logistic, like if you follow this flowchart, then we have received the vendor invoice and we got the asset document and the accounting document. And as we know, before vendor invoice, that should be purchase order. So that's why each and everything is required. So PR creation, purchase requisition, then purchase order, then GR, then invoice, then accounting document. And this is how actually we are working in office, and same thing we are doing in the SAP implementation as well as testing. So that's why if you are going to configure something, make sure that whatever you are configuring, everything should be there. That means before this, master data should be created, master data should be uploaded. You should know not only creation of master data, like the transaction code S01, you should know how to upload the master data. That is also very important, right? So each and everything as per the need of the job, you need to prepare yourself, and accordingly you are going to face the interview. So what I'm saying, without preparing for the interview, if you are going to take the interview and rejections is there, then you are not at all fit for that interview. Then don't think like, I did not, I have not selected, or let's say this, I did not got the job. It's not like that. You are not prepared. So that's why be focused, prepare well. Lot of data is there in your YouTube. Take the help of YouTube when you are going for the training. Accordingly, complete your training, do a very good hands-on, do the integration properly, then only then go prepare well and go for integration, go for interview. So this is the approach you should follow when you are preparing interview. Now coming to testing, I said that testing profiles are there, or it is part of our job also, because there was requirement was there testing. So when you are preparing any testing, the UATs should be there. So on the basis of UATs, we are only going to do the configuration. This is one UAT. So on the basis of this type of document, this is one sample UAT. So on the basis of these UATs, we are doing the testing. So when you are saying that I did one implementation, next question, have you involved in the testing phase? Answer is yes. If you have involved, then what are the test scenarios you have created? How many UATs you have prepared? Can you explain some example? So if you really work on these areas, then only you can able to explain all these things in the interview. So it's not like, because it's not any general training, it's complete IT training, and as per that job's need point of view, you have to prepare. So I have shown you two documents. One, before doing any configuration, the business process should be there, each and everything should be there, or everything documented. And second thing, when you are doing the testing, even whatever the transactions codes you are going to post. Okay, so this is one. Let me check, what is this? This is your EBS upload. You must have uploaded EBS through FFF_5. So when you are doing this one, make sure that for every testing, at least the important areas where, let's say APP, so when you are going to prepare the APP or DME you are preparing, so make sure that those supporting documents should be there. No one is going to ask you these documents, show the documents in interview, but if you have prepared these documents or you involve this one practically, then confidently you can answer in the interview, and employer is going to test your customer confidence. So this is how it is prepared. So the purpose of preparing these videos, like I'm getting a lot of messages that we are watching videos, or we have completed the training, but we are not getting the interview calls, or we are taking the interview, but we are not able to successfully face the interview, or we have rejected. It's not like all rejections are there. Candidates are there, they're getting jobs. Only thing, how you are going to prepare. So that is going to help you. I hope this suggestion, as per my experience, will help you. Still, if you have any query, feel free to message me. You can put in comments. I will try to answer those queries. Thank you very much.